88.7 FM The Edge. You're listening to Hawk Talk. My name is Connor MacPhail, and today we have a special guest, Kyle Clancy, the coach of the soccer team. If you'd like to introduce yourself a little bit.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Connor. As you mentioned, I'm the head coach of the men's soccer team. Been here this is going on my fifth year now. Would have been 5 seasons. We'll get to talk into a little bit of that. But yeah, we've had 4 seasons. I also had run the golf tournament here and take part in a couple of things to help out with the department.
Awesome, and we will definitely get into that stuff a little bit more into the podcast. But for now, I wanted to talk about the all-decade team that just came out recently. And I know Kevin Dorley, your player and a former player at this point, was named to that. How does it feel to have like one of your own players be named to that?
Yeah, it was a really nice honor. I was really proud and happy for him to be, for him to get that acknowledgement for all the work that he's put in and the success that he's had. It was really well earned. And I just think too, from a team perspective, it's really great recognition for the team, because in order to get acknowledged or to get that honor as a player, you have to have a good group around you. You have to have some good seasons, not just individually but as a team. I think that plays a lot into it. So for anybody who's been a part of the program during his 4 years here, I think it's a great honor for them as well.
Awesome, yeah. And I know the other New Paltz alumni, Tommy Garfalio, was assistant coach during your first season here, right?
Yeah, I was an assistant. That was my last year as an assistant was his first year here with the program. So he was actually a recruit of former coach Eric Watson, who had done a great job to recruit some good players. Tommy was one of them, and another really well-deserving honoree of this team. Like just an excellent player, great person, great work ethic, just really smooth on the ball. Did a lot of great things. Really creative. I think he finished. In terms of assists, maybe top 3 in his all-time stats. So he was a player that could really create and did a lot in the final third.
Awesome. And I think you kind of hit on this point. Maybe if you want to dive into it a little bit more, but I know Tommy and Kevin, obviously exceptional players to be named to the team, but what do you think made them like so deserving of it, and what made them like the most, like very dominant on the field in those aspects?
Yeah, they're both they're both players that, like, just thinking back to when I was an assistant with Tommy and even now with Kevin, day in, day out, top-notch work rate, always performing in practice. So they were just great examples, but also players that were constantly striving to improve in all areas of their game. So that was something that I really, just appreciated as an assistant or a head coach, was that type of commitment they put day in, day out. But yeah, Kevin in particular, having worked a little bit more closely and longer with him, and I mentioned this even in the article, he was a prolific finisher. One of the best in the box I've seen. His movement in the box, his movement off the ball, his soccer IQ, and I would say this about both of them, really high soccer IQ, really intelligent players. And Kevin is one who you see him up on the points list. I think, I was really high on the team this year, and it's tough not to have that season, but if he had it, he's probably going to finish top 3 in points for his career. And he's in 4th now, but he was somebody who created with assists.
Is that in SUNY history?
No, this is for for the New Paltz.
Gotcha.
All time.
Just to clarify.
Yeah. That's thank you for doing that.
Yep.
So he's somebody who created with assists. He could finish with goals. Great movement, great technique, great athleticism. He was a heck of a player.
Awesome. I am pretty close with Kevin, and I know how hard he works on and off the field. And going off of that, Kevin and the whole soccer team was denied an opportunity to really play this season. I've heard from a bunch of different players on how they felt, and I'm curious from a coach's perspective, how has it been for you handling the whole situation, the season cancellation and whatnot?
Yeah, it's been a challenge on a number of levels. I would say we've done as much as we can. Like my approach and mindset is always to make the most out of any situation and attack it with the right mindset. And we told the guys from the start we're gonna develop in any way that we can. If it's not going to be as much on the field, then it's going to be things we can do off the field. And so we approached it and we did some video analysis. We did a lot of team meetings where we worked on our culture and togetherness, and just a lot of areas that we could improve. But as much as we try to make the most out of these situations, we all missed a lot of things. Like the interaction with the players is something we as coaches love, and just getting to know the guys and getting to see them interact with each other and developing those relationships, getting to know how to best coach them. Yeah, that's stuff that I certainly miss. And the competition. I mean, we all want to compete. We want to win. We love that aspect of it. So that was certainly tough to go through, and just devastation for the seniors.
Yeah.
It's for anybody who doesn't get that chance to compete in that final year and who doesn't have the ability to come back and get that extra year. I just feel for them.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. But I know not make up for the season, but you had a little fall inter-squad tournament with the team. How did you come up with that? And because I was there with Monica and helped take pictures and stuff, and it was very competitive within the guys. How did you come up with that and the format and whatnot?
Yeah, I appreciate you being out there in that cold weather that day. That was nice, man.
Hey, I had a blast taking pictures.
And you committed. You were there the whole time. That was good. Yeah. It was, so we've done it multiple springs in the past. So it was typically something that we try to, because our springs are a little bit different in the Division III level, you only get that one game day. So we try to create a little bit more of that game environment on a weekly basis. So when we didn't have that ability to compete in the fall, the guys were great, and I give them a ton of credit for the weeks leading up to it. We tried to develop in every area that we could and create as many different sessions and try not to keep it monotonous, but in groups of 10 and, with some of the limitations that we had, it was tough to keep them motivated and just get them out there every single day competing at a high level. So that was really the biggest piece behind it. Just reward them for the hard work they had put in and to compete. And there's a lot of benefits to it. We want them to get used to, especially the first years, the speed of play. They don't get that in the typical practice sessions that we have with the small groups. So this got them to really get an understanding of what they would look or expect in the SUNYAC, and to the chemistry, to get used to each other, how people play, and what their styles are like. And so we try to be strategic with putting certain players together. Sometimes they couldn't do it in the ideal way, but in the end they got to compete, and it was a fun time.
Yeah, awesome. Again, when I was there, it looked very competitive, and the guys loved it. And then you got, I guess it's what they had to deal with for the time being, but it did look fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it the couple of times I got out there myself. So
yeah. I know there were some injuries, and you had to hop in there. So
yeah, I was just they like to make fun of me not pulling my hamstring, but I was able to go injury free. So it was a fun time.
Hey, that's good. But also, I wanted to talk about. I know we talked about how hard it was for the older guys, and their season being taken away. How have the younger guys been able to adapt to this new situation in some ways, and how have you helped them along the way?
I think probably the biggest challenge was getting, especially this first group, to connect with a lot of the upperclassmen. It's been, we have a little bit of we have a large group that's off campus, so just developing that togetherness and that chemistry that we feel we are rare, is a big strength of ours, which I think helps us on the field big time. So that was something that we've really worked hard on as a group. I have relied on my guys a lot for that too, because we're limited in what we can actually plan, and we do things as a program, like class dinners at our place. We do meals with the team. We do trips with the team, just short stuff by bus in the area, and we were kind of limited in being able to do that. So the guys have really stepped up. They've hung out. They've watched the EPL together. They're having dinners together. We have a big siblings group where the big siblings taking their little sibling out to a meal, or even meeting them on campus. So just trying to connect in any way. And I think that's helping our first year guys make that adjustment to the collegiate level, and really helping them to connect with the group as much as they can.
Yeah. And talking more about the younger guys, I'm curious what your outlook for the next seasons and seasons to come with the strong young core that you guys always have.
Yeah, it was disappointing to lose. I think this was going to be a special group, and every year it's a special team for any given reason. So not having this year was tough, but the group that came in, we saw a lot of really positive signs from every player, every recruit. In some capacity. And so I think that with this class that we brought in this past year, and we're pretty much done. So we have 6 committed at this point. We may get a 7th, but that is another very talented group. It's we've lost a lot of good players that we're going to, miss in this class. But that has helped fill us pretty much right up the spine: goalkeeper, center back, 3 center mids, forward. A lot of great depth, players that anybody in that class has the ability to play right away. So the competition level will be very high across the board. So it's going to be really exciting. And I told the guys all this. I told the recruits all this. We're ready to win a SUNYAC. There's no doubt.
Yeah. From the years I've been here, you guys compete and fight hard, and I'm cheering for you guys for sure.
We're just trying to follow in your guys' footsteps, man.
I know. I would love to see. It's always a pleasure to see other teams win, and I hope for you guys to get that SUNYAC and get that national championship too. We did another one at New Paltz.
You did a nice job setting the bar fairly high, so we're gonna do our best.
Awesome. But for now, we're going to take a quick little break. Next on 88.7 FM The Edge. All right, welcome back to 88.7 FM The Edge. You're listening to Hawk Talk, and we're back again with Coach Clancy. I just kind of wanted to change topics a little bit from soccer, and I know you were the coordinator for the upcoming 14th annual Hawks Athletic Wellness and Recreation Golf Tournament that will be held on May 1st. So tell us about this. How has it been setting it up, getting it going again and stuff? Yeah,
I'm thrilled, man. It was we had it canceled last year, and with all things going on right now, I wasn't sure that this was going to be able to happen. We found out pretty recently that we kind of talked about it in December about the possibility of it happening, and started to gauge some interest from alumni and people that have participated in the past of what their interest might be, comfortability with all that's going on. We're really fortunate that the administration here at New Paltz gave us the green light to be able to do it in the capacity that we are. So yeah, I'm extremely excited. We are in the early planning stages. We do have dates set. So the date is going to be Saturday, May 1st. It'll be an 11 a.m. shotgun start, held again at the beautiful Apple Greens Golf Course. And probably registration will be around 10. It's just going to be a different format. It's normally our perfect day of a golf tournament is finishing off the tournament, the actual golf, going to the barn that they have over there. We do a big dinner. We have some raffles, silent auctions, student athletes speak. It's a great congregation. It's a lot of people joining together and just getting to speak and talk and connect. But we're not going to be allowed to do that. So we are going to limit the congregation. It will be strictly golf. We will have some prizes, jacket. There'll be beer on the course. There will be bagged breakfast and lunch. But once you're done golfing, that's it. We're going to be sending people home. So a little bit of a different format, but still going to be a great event for a good cause.
Awesome. Me personally, I'm extremely excited. I picked up golf this quarantine, and it's been my new favorite thing. So I'm ecstatic for this. But I know you mentioned that it's not going to be exactly the same. But format-wise, is it going to be a scramble, match play, stuff like that?
Yeah, thank you. Actually, I should have mentioned that. It's going to be a scramble format. Mostly we try to get full foursomes. We do have sometimes some threes in there, depending on the groups that come or people that aren't able to make it at the end. But yeah, 4-person scramble format. It's going to be, as it's going to say on the website, everybody takes a shot. Whoever's got the best shot, you take it from there, and you just continue on in that format. So yeah, it's great for people like myself who aren't the best of golfers and really want to enjoy a nice day, and you get a couple of ringers in there, and you're good to go. Yeah,
I'm ecstatic. I played a couple scrambles with my buddies over break, and I'm excited to actually put it into play in a tournament almost. So
yeah, that's the hope.
Me, myself, Matt Grace, Rob Nolan, a couple other guys are going to do it. Do you know any other athletes that are interested in participating?
Yeah, so I've reached out to a bunch of my alumni. I actually just spoke to one of our alumni yesterday who's similar to yourself, has really gotten into golf. And it seems that one thing that COVID has led to is people really getting out and learning how to play the game of golf, or just playing it more if they have played. So we should have a pretty good showing from the men's soccer team, current and past. And I plan to play myself. We'll see how it goes this year. I've had a couple of people that have helped me run the tournament in the past, which has allowed me to take do a lot of the pre planning and planning before the event, and then they kind of run the day of. So as long as I can find somebody to help me out with that, I'll be out there. I really enjoy getting out and golfing with my family.
What do you think your scramble foursome will be?
It's typically my dad and my brother, and either my other brother, one of my other brothers, or my brother-in-law. So it's usually just family, and we really enjoy just getting out there and golfing and having a good time.
How long have you been playing for? Consider yourself a pretty decent golfer?
I do not consider myself a pretty decent golfer. So I will say I've played since probably early high school. I was actually decent in high school. Played locally at Walk Hill Golf Course, so we went there a lot. I had some good rounds. Recently, I would say I'm lucky if I'm breaking 100. If I leave Apple Greens shooting 90s, it's a great day. But I will say, and I was very proud to tell a couple of my players who golf a lot, and I have the scorecard sitting on my desk in my office. In late fall, very cold day, I shot an 82.
Oh,
it's the greatest score that I've ever had. I haven't golfed since.
We'll need a picture of that scorecard.
I can get you that picture.
Yes.
I'll never do it again. The stars aligned. I'm thinking of retiring, but it was a good day.
That's the thing about golf. I find, you have that one great day, and that what makes you keep coming back to the course. Because then you can have those awful days where it's like a 104, and you're like, "What just happened?" And then something just clicks that day, and you're like, "I just shot a 91 or like 82, like you just said," and you just like, "All right, I'll keep playing for fun."
It felt fantastic, and I had my family there to be witnesses. So it was a good day.
Awesome. And also, I know, like you mentioned, that the couple guys on the team now are pretty good golfers. I talked to Kevin when he was on the podcast. He was a varsity golfer in high school. He's not too shabby himself.
Kevin's quite the golfer. Tommy Jelstrom's another one. He got out there a bunch, and he, from what I hear, shoots fairly well. So we've got some guys. I'm thinking that even on the current team, we might be able to get a foursome or two out there.
Awesome. So what? I don't know how long you've been the coordinator for this event, but what's the best score you've seen on one of these scrambles, or seen possibly?
Off the top of my head, I think it's around a 13 or 14 under. We've had, so we typically do have mulligans that we sell. So we give that opportunity for.
That's great information to know.
Well, typically, I don't think we're going to do that.
No one get their hopes up quite yet.
Yeah. So I say leave that one out. But maybe if we can figure out a way to do it. But 13, 14 under is a pretty good score.
4 shots should be enough for everyone.
It should be.
Yeah.
It should be, depending on the group. But yeah, we've had some moments in my group where we were looking for a few extra mulligans.
You just need that one shot.
That's it.
So you're expecting like 13, 14 under for the round?
Yeah, and hoping for. It depends. I mean, it's been kind of a bit of a roller coaster in terms of numbers the last 4 years. I think if we get the higher end of the numbers, we're going to try to be ambitious and shoot for 100 plus. The higher the numbers, we might see some more groups at a high level and getting some good scores. But if you're leaving the day shooting a 13 under, I think you're giving yourself a good shot at the title.
I think that'd be a good score to have.
Yeah.
But I know Apple. I've had plenty this past semester, being that I just mentioned that I picked up golf. I played a lot of rounds at Apple Greens. Do you know? Are they going to use the whole 27 holes, or is it going to be the front 9 or the?
Yeah. Have you played the across the street? Have you played
the most beautiful? It's got the most beautiful views.
Yeah. For anybody who hasn't golfed there, who's listening to this, it's an incredible opportunity to golf at a really, really nice course. The views are beautiful. The overall course layout's great. Really well kept. They do an awesome job there. The way the format typically goes for us, we golf on the west side, so across the street, those 9, and then it's 10 through 17 on the east. So 10 through 18. I'm sorry. So you'll get that really long par 3, and that's typically the hole in one where you have a chance to win a good amount of money or a car or something in that capacity. I don't know if we're gonna have the car, but usually it's a good amount of money. And if you can get it 200 yards plus and put it in, you're in good shape.
Yeah, I mean that par 3 is dreadful amongst other holes there. That dog leg par 5 is just like the hardest hole I've ever played in my life.
There are some tough ones. My least favorite is that par three. I just have a tough time picking the right
Was
club.
it 17?
That's 17. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
But they followed up with a generous 18.
Yeah, definitely
Shorter
par
par
four.
Yeah. So you can make up for it.
I find the front nine to be extremely difficult for some strange reason, or I just make it harder on myself. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that back. I'm trying to, that actually, yeah, we did the back, and that I did finish when I shot my 82. I finished 2 over par on that one. So I would agree with you.
That is a great score. Nothing to hold your head about that.
Like I said, I blacked out that back nine. So it was, I woke up and there it was.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think, like what we talked about Apple Greens being a tough course. What would you said your personal best at Apple Greens was? Was it the 82?
The 82 was the personal best at Apple Greens. Besides that, I mean, I think I've never broken 95 at Apple Greens. So it's typically been a pretty tough course.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played and I played some others that were certainly difficult. Yeah, I mean, it's when those tight courses where it's you don't have much room or much mistakes to get that ball and off the tee. It can be challenging.
Yeah, for sure. But to kind of just wrap it up a little bit, the event's going to be awesome. Even if you're not like a super good golfer, I think people should come out. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a lot of fun. Being out on a golf course on a nice sunny day. Hopefully it's warm, and hanging out with your friends is a great day. I don't know if you have any last words to say about the event and anything else. Yeah,
the biggest thing I really need to make sure that I let everybody know is why we're holding the event, and I think that's one of the most important things. We certainly want people to come to just experience the area and meet with the current students or staff, and to get together as alumni when they haven't seen each other maybe for a little while, and just to enjoy a nice day outside. And fingers crossed it's a nice day. Yes. But the biggest reason is proceeds will go directly to student athlete development and opportunities. And I think that's of massive importance, with the uncertainty of what the future might hold with budgets. And this is a great opportunity for us as a department to directly impact the development of student athletes. So things like the Chi Alpha Sigma National Honor Society recognition dinner that we're hoping to have again in the future. Money towards the diversity, equity, and inclusion programs, the Hawks Leadership Academy, the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, and the New Paltz Athlete of Color Committee. It's things that we hope to be able to raise money for to help out with these groups in any capacity that they need to really make it an enriching experience for all of our student athletes. Awesome. So all proceeds will go directly to those organizations that you just mentioned? Yep. It's going to be all towards really the student athlete development and then finding out how we can help out each of those organizations. Awesome. Again, everyone come out. Proceeds are going to a great cause. It's going to be a great day. And Coach, it was honestly a pleasure to talk to you, and I hope to see you soon and see you out on the field soon. Yeah, we appreciate it. Thanks for all you're doing to help get the awareness out for all the groups and different athletes. You guys do a great job, so really appreciate it. Of course, it was my pleasure. Thanks again, Coach. You got it. Talk to you soon. Yep.